Let's talk about dividing polynomials, and specifically synthetically dividing them. Well, let's first just talk about long division here. With long division, you're looking for the quotient, 6x cubed plus 2x squared minus 8x minus 17 divided by 2x plus 4. If I want to find out my quotient and remainder here, probably the best option is to use, like we said, use some long division. So we're going to use long division here to find our quotient and our remainder. So let's go through the steps here. Set it up as you would a long division arithmetic. And the way it goes is, first of all, just divide the first two things in what you're dividing in your divisor. So divide the first terms here, 6x cubed divided by the 2x over here. And we're going to put that somewhere on the top line. Well, 6 divided by 2 is 3. What about x cubed divided by x, or x to the first? Isn't that x squared? Subtracting the exponents there. So 3x squared is the result of doing that. Then what we do is we take the 3x squared and we multiply it by the 2x plus 4. 3x squared times 2x is 6x cubed. 3x squared times 4 is 12x squared. And notice those go nicely up under those two. Okay, but the next step is, of course, in arithmetic, we subtract this second line from the first line. So what that's going to mean here is change those signs. And then combine the terms. Of course, those go to 0. 2 minus 12 is a negative 10. So it'll be negative 10x squared there. And then you just keep repeating that pattern until you get to the end, right? Bring down the negative 8x, of course, and then do it all over again. Take this term, negative 10x squared, and divide it by the 2x. And that's our next one in our quotient here. Be negative 5x, wouldn't it? And then multiply the negative 5x times here. So that would be negative 5x times 2x would be negative 10x squared. Negative 5x times 4 is negative 20x. So don't forget to change signs. So that becomes a plus, that becomes a plus. I like to mark them out, show that I did them. That and that goes away, that's 0. Minus 8 plus 20 is 28x. So we need to do it one more time here. Bring down the minus 17, do it all over once again. 28x. Huh? Oh, 12x, sorry. Just checking you. I do that every once in a while, more often here lately, but yeah, I meant to say 12x. Okay. Then subtract 17. 12x divided by then 2x. Take this one, divide by that one. Well, those x's go out, so it's just positive 6. So positive 6 times the 2x plus 4 would be 12x plus 24. Change the signs. That and that go out. That's a minus 41. Okay, so here's how we will write these answers. This, of course, top line is the quotient, we call it. And this, of course, is the remainder. And so the way we write the answer is we take the quotient, 3x squared minus 5x plus 6, and then do the remainder over the divisor. We could say, you can always say plus and then do the remainder over divisor. This is our divisor. Terminology here. Of course, this one could be written, couldn't we write it as minus 41, 3x squared minus 5x plus 6, minus 41 over 2x plus 4 should be. Either one. Take your pick. All right. Is this okay? Look all right? Did I do any other mistakes there? I think I got it. Okay, let me do one more of those. Let's do 6x cubed minus 13x squared plus 5 divided by 3x squared plus x minus 2. Yeah, you can divide any two polynomials like this, long division. So let's do this one. All right, so we got 3x squared plus x minus 2. We're going to divide that by 6x cubed minus 13x squared. Now, one reason for doing this is, note here, there's a missing term. If we're going in order, it usually goes x cubed, x squared, then the constant. So I don't have an x term. So what I'm going to do over here is fill that in as 0x, the missing term, and then plus 5. It just keeps everything lined up if you fill in the missing terms with 0. So wherever your missing term is, just put a 0 in its place, and then we'll do the work here, 6x cubed, and divide that by 3x squared, so that goes here, that would be 2x, wouldn't it? Take the 2x times these, so that would be 2x times 3x squared is 6x cubed. 2x times x is 2x squared, positive. And then 2x times minus 2 is minus 4x. Yeah, and so the x terms line up here. What's next? Change the signs. Change the signs of the second line. That's 0, 6 minus 6. Negative 13 minus 2 is minus 15, x squared. 0 plus 4 is 4x. Bring down the next. That's 5. So now I'm going to divide 15x squared negative by 3x squared. It's going to go here, so that would be a negative 5, wouldn't it? Those cancel, so it's negative 5. Then take the negative 5 times these, so it'll be negative 15x squared minus 5x plus 10. But change the signs. That and that are out. 5x plus 4x is 9x. 5 minus 10 is minus 5. Yeah, so I can't divide any further because I've got x here and an x squared here. So I can't divide this one by that one. So that's going to be the remainder. So I'm going to have 2x minus 5. That's my quotient. Plus, then the 9x minus 5. Put it over the divisor that we started with. So this answer would come out this way. Okay? Any questions on that one? Went through that quickly, but hopefully you're all right so far on that. All right? Well, the other option we'll have, and we'll do this one in the next section, like I said, that we'll cover coming up, so that's why we're hitting this. But it's synthetic division. And the first two I did, we couldn't use this on because synthetic division only used when the divisor is x minus a number or x plus a number. That's the only time you can use this. It has to be that format. And the two previous, obviously this is 3x squared plus x minus 2, so that's not even anywhere close to x minus a number x plus, because you got the x squared. And then the first one I did, what was the divisor on the first? The first one I did, it was over 2x plus 4. Why doesn't that one work? Yeah, it's because of the 2 here. So it's got to be x minus a number x. So if there's a 2 or a 3 or something in front of the x, no go on this. But here's what happens. On synthetic division, it just shortens the process a little bit because we take out all reference, while we're working anyway, take out all reference to variables. Here's how it works. Let's say I've got x cubed minus 4x squared plus 9x minus 9 divided by x minus 2. X cubed minus 4x squared plus 9x minus 6 over x minus 2. We could divide this long division way. The next section, however, we're going to need to do a lot of these dividing, or several anyway. So if we can shorten it, all the better. Here's the way we shorten it. What I do, we said take out all reference to variables, or the way I like to write it. I just start with putting this number, the opposite actually, positive 2, and I do a backwards L right there. Different ways of showing it, but this is the way I do it. So I just start by writing this number, the opposite of it, up here in this part here. Okay, then beside that, I'm going to take just the coefficients, which the coefficient here is 1. 1, negative, we're not changing those, as is. 1, negative 4, 9, and negative 6. Taking out all the x variable. Of course, these need to be in order, descending order, but if you've got all that, yeah, just do the one. So this is the only one you change signs, okay? What that basically does is it takes the minus out of this, because on division you're subtracting, but we'll do it right there, so change that sign. Okay, then skip a row and draw a line. Here's how it works. First number, the 1, just bring it down below the line. Then I'm going to go up here below the negative 4, and that number is going to be, well, I'm going to take this number times the number up here. So 1 times 2 gives me 2, so I'm going to put 2 right there below the negative 4. Then I'm going to add the negative 4 plus the 2. That'll be a negative 2. Negative 4 plus 2 is negative 2, right? And then I'm just going to keep doing that. Negative 2, I'm going to multiply it by the number up here, 2, so that's going to be negative 4. Then I'm going to add the 9 and negative 4 and get a 5. Then I'm going to go 5, multiply it by 2, which would be 10. And then negative 6 plus 10 is 4. So up and down until you get to the end. Well, it turns out that is the result of our division. The number on the end is the remainder. These other three, well, those are your coefficients of the quotient. And the quotient, by the way, the quotient is always 1 degree, starts with 1 degree less than what you started with. Here's what I mean by that. Started with x cubed, so the quotient is 1 degree less, it's x squared. So this is going to be 1 with x squared. Then it's just going to go down, so it'll be minus 2x, and then that'll be the constant 5. And then that's a remainder, so we'd add it on the end here, 4, then write it over the divisor, which is x minus 2. So there you go. Without having to go through the long division process here, we can divide this one out. Okay? All right, let's do a couple more on there. All right, let's do this one. What about use synthetic division. X cubed minus 4x squared plus 9x minus 6. But let's divide it by x plus 1. Okay. So this time we got the same top line, but this time I'm divided by x plus 1, so what goes right here? Well, you change the sign, so you go do a minus 1 there for the number in that part there. Then alongside it, yeah, you just do the coefficients, so you got 1, negative 4, 9, and negative 6. All right. So here we go. We got bring down the number. First number, just bring it down. Basically, you're adding nothing to it, so it's 1. Then we go up here. What do? You multiply by the number up in the top there. So it'd be negative 1. 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. Negative 4. Then you add negative 1, so it'd be negative 5. Then I multiply the negative 5 times negative 1, so it'll be positive 5. Add the 5, so it'll be 14. Then I take the 14 times the negative 1, so it'll be negative 14. And so I wind up negative 6 minus 14 is negative 20. Last number is the remainder. These are my coefficients, so that'd be 1. Again, 1 less, so it'll be again x squared minus 5x plus 14. Then again, you could say plus negative 20, but minus 20 would work as well. Minus 20 over x plus 1. How's that sound? Look okay? Let's do one other example. All right. How about 5x to the 4th plus 6x cubed minus 2 divided by x plus 2. So yeah, if you know what you're doing here, this is a fairly smooth process. Now, one thing, again, to watch out for, missing terms. That's why I'm doing this one. Do I have some missing terms here? I certainly do. Matter of fact, we've got 2 missing terms. What are they? X squared and x are missing. Okay? All right, so start the synthetic. Put the opposite of this number down here, negative 2, in the box there. Then alongside that, I'll put the coefficients of what I'm dividing. So that would be 5, then 6, then what? 0, then another 0, and then minus 2. Why 2 zeros there? Well, that's for the x squared, and that's for the x. So any missing terms, fill those in with zeros. Okay? All right, so there we go. Bring down the 5, start it out. 5 then times negative 2 is negative 10. 6 plus negative 10 is negative 4. Negative 4 times negative 2 is positive 8. 0 plus 8 is 8. 8 times negative 2 is negative 16. 0 minus 16 is minus 16. Minus 16 times minus 2 is positive 32. Negative 2 plus 32 is 30. So I get 30 as my remainder. What's my quotient? Well, it's this coefficients. 5 would be the coefficient of x to the what? 3rd? 1 less degree than you start with. So start with x to the 4th. So the quotient is going to be 5x to the 3rd. Then be minus 4x squared plus 8x minus 16 plus then 30 divided by x plus 2.